Chris, is that you? Damn.
So I want to get into real estate, but don't know where to start.
Well, what I would say is to join the Future Cash Flow Club. It's a community of investors where we talk about wholesaling, we talk about creative deal structuring, buying houses subject to, all of the creative stuff that everybody's talking about. You don't need a real estate license or any of that.
Wow, where do I sign up?
Well, I would say go to futurecashflowclub.com. That's futurecashflowclub.com. You can even get a free trial. Try it out today. Can you hear me? I don't know. If you don't know who I am by now, I don't know what you've been doing. You been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This how we do. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This is the student master teacher, Mr. I Stay Woke, Chris Cashflow Money Monroe, and I'm right back at you with a weekly accountability show. So let me take this thing off the screen. Bow! Uh-oh, wait a minute. Try it again. Messed that up. There we go. What's going on? I see we got Jaden, we got Art, we got Justin, we got Ian Warrior in the building. Happy Sunday. As I try to fix this screen. There we go. Wow. There you go. What's going on? Everybody snowed in. Y'all looking like y'all want to go outside so bad.
Art say they used to it down there where he at.
Oh yeah, Art ready for the blizzard. He ain't scared of that.
Yeah.
This is light snow to you, right?
Yeah. There's definitely we get something like this almost every year. Every year we get, they tell us it's gonna get hit like this like 5 times a year, but it only actually ever happens like once.
Now, is this type of weather, inclement weather, lots of snow, is this really a bad thing, or is there something good that comes from it?
As it pertains to real estate, one good thing about this type of weather is a lot more people are at home, so more potential to get people on the phone.
What you said. All the people you've been trying to catch up with, you can find them now. They at the house, snowed in like the rest of them, right?
Yeah.
You making any calls or anything during this blizzardy stuff, Art, or you kind of just relaxing?
No, I was making calls. Cold calls and follow-up calls. I had actually one good lead that I've been following up with for a while. I got back in contact with him. He'd been going through pre-foreclosure, and he was in the union, and he lost his job, but he was waiting till about a week ago to figure out if he was going to get his job back or not, and that was going to determine if he was going to be able to keep up with the house payments or try to get that back together. But he found out this past week they're not going to be able to do anything for him. So now he's even more motivated than he once was.
So motivation levels can literally change in a snap of a finger.
Absolutely. That's why the follow-up is important.
The fortunes are in the follow-up. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes.
Cool beans. What about you, Justin? I know you ain't just sleeping in all day. I know you talking to somebody about doing something. I know.
Man, I've been sending out offers and stuff, following up today. And I had one guy hit me back. I found a for sale by owner sign out there, and he asked me what a 15-year term would look like. And so we're gonna package that up, see what he's willing to accept and everything. I know he moved to California with all them high taxes, so I'm sure you don't want to, just take that 175. You have to take a 60% hit on that if he accept that in full payout like that in California. So that wouldn't be a good investment on his part.
So when you say that, you know, they want to know how that looks, how would a 15-year look, Justin?
So had to call you up to confirm before I started thinking, because I found out that in this stuff you don't want to think for people and stuff, and it's definitely have to rewire my whole, the way I think and stuff. So we had I just ended up asking them, based off what you said, Chris, is hey, what is the least you feel like you can accept a month? And
Especially if it's free and clear. That's a perfect question for a free and clear property with no loan. Now, if it has a loan, the verbiage would change a little bit. Just saying, I guess I assume you're okay if I just take over your payment, correct? You don't have to worry about making that payment anymore. Boom. I'm not offering over the payment. They got to ask for that, to make it into a more, I don't want to say complex, but it is a more complex deal, making it what they call a hybrid deal. But it's getting deep into the weeds. I try to keep it very simple. Talk like I'm talking to a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old can understand this, by the way. And so that's why I try to keep it simple like a pimple. So, yeah, that's good. I'm glad you get it.
60 days after closing, we'll start making that payment.
So you'll be making payments on, what's that, April 1?
Right, exactly.
That's what I put in the paperwork. April 1st payment. Just pick a date way out in the future, like where you can collect. And I've got lucky with a few properties where I've actually closed on a deal real quick and started making payments later. And I got somebody in the house real quick. So those first 2 months or so, I was collecting money and not have to pay anything out.
Nice.
So slam bam. Thank you, ma'am. What's going on, Ian? How are you?
I'm doing well, Mr. Monroe. How about yourself?
Let me borrow those headphones, man. They look kind of expensive.
I get you a good deal on one.
That's like some $2,000 headphones, man. Let me get down. What are you doing? You working on some real estate deals, or just kind of just kind of cooking?
So the last 2 days it was real studying for me. I met up with Justin earlier last week, and he showed me some of the ropes of how wholesaling works, talking to leads. We did get a hold of one person, and he just threw me out into the ocean, learned how to swim, and I froze. I didn't know what to say, but it was a real eye opener for me. And I told him it was kind of like a rush because it was the first person I actually got a hold of since I started trying to. So he gave me some.
So the person you reached out to, what was it, like a pre-foreclosure or something else?
It was a foreclosure.
Cool.
And she was not interested in making a deal. She said she wanted to go with the foreclosure and just deal with the courts. And even when Justin jumped in and tried to talk to her, she was not interested in trying to work a deal out.
That's unusual. So we don't know why she wanted to do none of this.
She wanted to stick it to her husband.
Yeah.
But the problem when I asked her, I'm like, okay, so I say, how are you sticking it to your husband if the loan is only in your name?
Right. That's what I was going to say. It's got to be a question we need to be asking. And I'm always looking for what should I be asking about. So what'd she say to that?
I think the husband still stays in the property. So I think that's what she was articulating to us. Mrs.
Seller, what if there was a way we can't stick it to your husband and you still sell me the house? Don't play with me, lady. We are not afraid.
I was gonna pull up on her. I thought she just needs to be probed a little bit more,
So she's the owner, or she holds
the debt.
So the loan is in her name, and the deed is in his name, or what?
I believe so. He got it during the divorce. No, I think no, you know what? They going through a divorce. The divorce is not finalized, but she said the loan is in her name.
That is a question, though. I would ask her, what if we found a way to stick it to your husband, put some money in your pocket, and still sell us the house? Right. I mean, how can we make something like that work? Because, we're just trying to figure out what they want and find them a way to get them what they want, even though we're really not going to stick it to her husband or nothing like that. Pause. No diddy. But the whole thing is, how do we solve her problem in whatever way? In her mind, regardless of what we think, we know everything. Great. But what does she think How do we get her to shift the way she's thinking? By question. Not necessarily telling her everything, but what question should we ask to make her come to the realization? So that's good, Ian. You came in swinging and bucking and swinging, huh?
Yeah.
How much you pay for that lead?
$0.
What? Oh no!
What they do?
Keep that money, man.
So this past couple of days has just been, he gave me some resources to go over and watch some RJ Bates videos.
Cool.
Like getting familiar, but talking to customers,
Sellers.
Have you talked to any customers or clients or any kind of sales in your background previously to now?
I am a barber, so in that aspect, I was, selling myself really, and I became a nurse. So just talking to people,
Oh, okay.
I'm knowledgeable at.
So you just need the proper words to use, the proper questions to ask, and some practice. Am I getting it correct?
Correct.
All right.
He said he done paid for programs and he didn't get on the phone with people.
No, we get on the phone, man. So hope keep your seatbelt fastened. We're gonna get back to you momentarily. So be ready. He said, "What? I'm ready." What's going on, Jaden? Happy birthday!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
How's it feel to be 29?
29.
You getting
Oh,
old?
man.
No.
29
you like
is crazy.
22.
How old are you,
21.
Jaden?
21. Just turned
Get
21.
out of here for real.
Take you to the casino. You ready?
I'm already coming down in February.
We finna go throw them dice, man. No.
Don't
Yeah,
start
you gotta
drinking.
play.
It's overrated. Don't start drinking. It's overrated.
Yeah, that's the
You
one.
gotta-
Really, all of that stuff. Everything they told you couldn't do to 21, you ain't missing nothing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not missing out on nothing really. So
Sex overrated too. Don't let them trick you.
What they said.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I'm listening. Tell them, Jim.
Anything you working on, Jaden, in the last couple of weeks since I talked to you?
Yep. Last time I talked to you, I got a bid submitted. Just submitted a bid to like that warehouse we talked about last time. Submitted it for $60,000. So waiting on the green light for that, and also trying to get my my tech right because my Google Voice and my IP got banned for some reason, and I have to figure that out.
All them text messages you sending, that's why.
Yeah, then
How
text
much you think
messages.
the warehouse worth?
It's not like buying the warehouse. It's just to get it cleaned up.
Oh, you're doing a clean out job.
Yeah.
60 grand?
Yeah.
So how did you find that?
Realistically, I just called a general contractor in my area, and he said that he had like a health facility. Sorry, it's a health facility, and they said that they're building it. They need it cleaned out, all 3 stages. And then I said, hey, it's going to be $60,000 after I did some research on it.
Oh, that's good. So, a lot of times, and this goes to real estate, this goes to the clean out job, this goes to everything in life. I'm always trying to figure out what should I be asking these people, because I want to know what they think before I expose my hand. It's like kind of like playing poker, even though you probably never played poker. You're keeping a poker face. Mr. Man, you want this cleaned out. I mean, what kind of budget you working with? Oh, we can do up to 80,000. Damn, I was going to tell him 60. Not saying he would say that or not, but it's still just something to get an idea before I start running off telling numbers to people. I don't like saying numbers first, because he who says a number first most of the time loses unless it's heavily in your favor. And that sounds like it is kind of heavily in your favor, but did he tell you anything like that before you gave him that offer?
Yeah, I mean, same thing as real estate: timeline, price, condition, and motivation. I asked the qualifying questions, be like, hey, like, what's the budget? They said that they can work upwards of 65, and then 65. I want to, get my foot in the door, really get in there. I say, hey, do you prioritize quality or speed? What are you really looking for? And scope of work, and when do you need it done by? So everything we use in real estate, I just used it for that clean out.
Come on,
People
Jay.
you gonna give it to?
Say that one more time.
You already got some people who gonna do it?
Actually, I made a Facebook post yesterday, and I'm qualifying people right now. People that got insurance, a W-9, and they got to make sure that they legit. So
you're going to sub this work out? Is that what I'm getting?
yeah, I'm gonna sub it out.
Okay, so when you do this, and this is not necessarily real estate, but it is business and life. We want to help people in their life here and the Future Cash Flow Club. Hey, so when they do say yes to your thing, are they going to give you any money up front?
I need a deposit up front, at least 50% up front. So then the guys can actually start to do the work and start to get it done. And then 50% upon completion.
Come on with it, Jaden. You going with the game?
I
Learn
need
from
to
the
change
best.
my game up because I get 60 bands for any clean out. I'm putting about 10 guys to do it for a day, $100 a piece.
Justin, you need to have that business for real. I mean, it's plenty of it. It ain't no shortage of clean outs. Ain't no shortage of none of this stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a health facility. It's not a warehouse. It's a health facility that they just built, and they need it for the first stage and for the second stage. What is it? The rough and the final clean. So 60K for both. Sorry, all together.
Right, man.
About to make 60 bands. That's crazy on clean out. I thought
I
I
need
was
this
doing
approved.
good.
Well, I mean, it sounds good, Justin, but let me ask the right question. What are
Yeah.
your expenses to do this thing that you're talking about doing? You got to haul away trash. You got to dispose of it. What's that going to cost you?
Yeah, so you have the debris, post construction cleaning, debris, all the dust, you have to go rent the machines, you actually have to get there, and then you got to hire the people. So that's already four things, and not including all the other miscellaneous stuff that could also happen. So I think we're gonna probably hit a 40% or 50% profit margin. So just thinking about it,
So you think you're going to have $30,000 in expenses?
I think so.
Wow, that's a lot. I'm trying to think. It got to be a way to reduce the expenses. See, I'm a business
Definitely.
mind. I'm sorry. It just goes automatically to my brain. Like, how do I reduce expenses and increase revenue?
Yeah, because I mean because mainly it's more labor, so it shouldn't really be that expensive. But I need to
what
figure out
is
how
it?
to reduce
I
that.
mean, how are you gonna move the debris and the trash from the building to the dump site and dump it? I mean, that
Great
shouldn't cost
question.
$30,000. You
Yeah,
can
it
buy a
shouldn't.
truck that much. I mean, but it shouldn't. Just, that could launch your whole business right there off that one job.
Yeah,
In real life, like, hey, it bought me two big dump trucks down there. But
yeah. I think
yeah.
probably getting like a dumpster rental, and then they'll just haul it off afterwards. I think that's probably the best way because paying.
What's that? $500 a load, maybe for a 40-yard per load.
Yeah, but I think it's more expensive to buy like a big truck and then go to the dump site and then come on back because they're really taxing over here with the pay per ton.
So I would do the math on it, check it out, see what's better: rent 40-yard dumpsters or whatever you say you think you need, or rent a truck, load the truck, dump the truck. All of that, you got to count for fuel, labor, all of that. Write all that out on your business plan, and it should come out right. But I don't think it's going to cost you $30,000. This is like so much junk in there because that's the only thing that's going to cost you a lot. I mean, labor going to cost, but it shouldn't be that much.
Yeah.
I know some crackheads who would drive down there right now for that type of for a fraction of that money.
We finna bust them down there, Justin. Hey, we employ you all around the world. I like it.
Yeah, 30 grand.
I give you 30 G's if you snitch on your homie. Well, congratulations on that, Jaden. Anything in the real estate world?
I'm coming back. I'm just trying to, get stuff to rolling, and I'm coming back full throttle.
Okay, cool.
You been listening to those calls?
Yeah, I've been listening to calls. Been practicing. It's been a lot of getting myself together and also studying because I mean I'm not trying to be out the game. I'm trying to get back in. I'm trying to be with the greats.
You keep your belt on too. We coming back to you too here shortly. You get you a mock call today.
Hey Jane, practice make what?
Perfect.
No, it don't make perfect. It makes better. There's no such thing as perfection.
Okay.
Don't wish it was easy. Wish you were better. Words of Jim Rome. So that's the game we got. Congratulations on that, Jaden. Make it happen.
Don't be afraid to fund some deals. Let's fund some deals. We got deals. You got $30, we're gonna find you a deal.
For that money, I'm sure we can.
Yeah.
Mr. Jim up in Virginia. Y'all don't get snow in Virginia, I'm sure, right?
Oh no, we got snow.
Y'all ain't getting away from it, huh?
No, we got about 5-6 inches out there, but it's the sleet and ice and all that nasty stuff.
So you ain't been out the house in 2 days.
No, I've been out. I was out on the tractor pushing snow this afternoon or this evening.
Go ahead, Jim. You said this little snow ain't nothing, man. I done grew up with more snow than this. Everybody crying, stay off the roads.
Push the quarter-mile driveway out.
Jim, you got to show us your estate one day on this call.
What's that?
You got to show us your estate one day on this call.
Oh, yeah. Moving snow. That's what I was doing this afternoon.
Cool. Anything happening in the real estate world? Any good opportunities possibly coming your way?
I am resurrecting my driving for dollars list. So I have a list that I have been compiling because when I go out door knocking, I always make sure that I have my driving for dollars app up so that every time I drive by one and it looks like it's vacant or something like that, I put a pin in it and then follow up on it. So I've been pinning a lot of them, but I haven't been following up on them. So I went back and I'm resurrecting that list.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I would say, especially if you look back and see that these houses still vacant or still got something going on with them. It's like, wait a minute, we need to reach out to these people.
Well, that's how this came about, is because I was outdoor knocking last week, I think it was, and I saw a couple vacant houses, so I pinned them on my list. And then when I got back home, I realized they were already on my list from a little while ago. So I was like, yeah, I need to start working this list.
Yeah,
and then the other thing I found out too is one of the other investors in my real estate group had given me a list of houses that he's interested in purchasing. And all those lists, all three of those lists had a lot of places where they came together.
Really?
They came together on. So they were on my door knocking list. They were already on my driving for dollars list from a year ago, and they're on his list for houses that he really wants to buy.
How are you going to reach out to these people?
I'm probably going to door knock is the way I like to do it. So most of them have other properties in town. And so I'm going to door knock their mailing address.
You're going back to the old fashioned knock on the door because it works for sure.
And then, yeah, so that's and then I'm still working on that one that I'm stuck on. So got a little bit of progress. I've been talking with one of the sisters on it. So it's not moving real quick, but I'm learning some new stuff. Oh, one thing I'll share on here. I don't know if it's relevant for you guys out there, but in Virginia, I have a durable power of attorney, but but it's not, I cannot use the durable power of attorney to sign a property over to myself. I can't be the beneficiary of whatever I'm the durable power of attorney on.
So who told you that? The attorney or a title company or?
The attorney. Yeah, I went.
What if I told you there was a way you still could do that?
I'd love to hear it.
I'm always like, what they say we can't do, watch this. Why you gotta use that one attorney? You get two sides of the transaction. One attorney gets one side, the other attorney gets the other side, or one title company gets one side, another title company gets the other side. Ooh. And they don't know you're the beneficiary. Plus, I don't even put myself as a beneficiary. We put an LLC as a beneficiary. So it's not even. So how they gonna tell you?
That's the other thing I could do is when it comes down to it, I could assign the contract to somebody else. So that's the one thing.
Jim, everybody tell you can't do something. I tell you there's a way we can do it.
But the other thing I'm trying to do is get the house back into the owner's name, and I need the owner to sign for that. And that's the part I can't get. I haven't been able to
wait a minute. So slow that down. You say now what happened?
So this is the one that I put the arrears money in, but it went to the auction anyway. So I'm trying to rescind the auction. I'm trying to get the auctions turned backwards. So in other words, like it didn't happen. And then that will put the deed back into the homeowner's name that I'm in a contract with.
Because right now it's in the deed is in the name of the bank.
That's correct.
Okay.
So I can't go and buy it. My title company won't allow me to close because it's not, I got a contract with somebody, not the bank.
So the
And
bank
then,
will revert it though. What does the bank require for them to send it back to the seller?
so I went to the trustee and I explained the situation. Trustee said that we need to rescind the auction. So he's working on the paperwork to do that. He sent me the paperwork the other day, and he said I just need to get the homeowner, the original homeowner, to sign the paperwork. Well, the family's mad at me, so that's not going to happen. So, so what I asked him is, I said, wait a minute, based on what you told me, I said I have a durable power of attorney. So my trustee told me, send it into the office. That should be all you need to sign the paperwork. So then I did that. And 2 hours later, he responded back to me and told me that he checked with the Bar Association and he gave me a court case at the Supreme Court in Virginia that says that he can't do that. That durable power of attorney.
Did you review what he sent you? Did you review that case that he sent you?
Yes.
And it said that?
Yeah, it's almost word for word what my situation is. And so he said because he found that, he said he can't accept that durable power of attorney.
So it needs to be signed off by the sellers.
Yep.
Or the people that's living it. They
original
still haven't moved out.
What's that?
The people still haven't moved out either, right? They're still in that
It's
property.
vacant now. Yeah, it's vacant now. They moved out.
why-
That's the other.
Have you asked them would they sign off on everything to get it done?
They won't talk to me. They won't answer the door, and they told me to get off the property. They're calling the police.
What property?
This is a
It's-
house he's been working on for a few months.
I'm saying like what is they saying that at the house that you were putting the rears on, or
No. They have two houses. So I went to their other house where they're living because the one that I'm paid the arrears on is vacant, and the power's shut off. It's just sitting there. So I went back to the house where they're living.
Jim, how long have you been working on this?
Oh gosh, long time.
What's a long time?
Like a year, and it was October 2024.
Okay, Jim, you need to just walk away from this.
He got money in the deal. He
Take
really
the 20 grand loss and go make $200,000 this year and just forget about it. But every 100,000 you make, you're going to lose 10 grand and just chunk it up and go make 200 to make up for 20 grand. It's taking up too much of your mind space.
Well, you got to also remember too, though, Justin, it's not just him. He got partners in his deal.
Oh, with the 20? Pay them back with new
Do you
deals.
have partners or something too?
No, I don't have a partner. I have a buyer ready to buy it, but it's not a partner, not a partnership.
And the only way they can revert it is if the seller sign off.
Just go ahead and just leave the deal.
Wait a minute. Can the attorney reach out to them?
Because
I wouldn't want to be talking to them anyway. If they hate my guts, there's no reason for me to be asking them anything. I'm sending third party to do everything.
So I sent them
Why
a
haven't
letter.
you sued them?
I sent them a registered letter, Chris, and they didn't. They wouldn't accept it. They turned it back to the post office. So then I sent them another letter, demand letter for my money. So I sent them a demand letter to via UPS, and one of the family members signed for it, but they didn't. They talked to the other family members, and nobody wants to talk to me.
And this is the thing, I'm saying remove you from the thing. Not you doing anything. The attorney, third party, hire somebody else to do all the communication. You don't communicate with them no more about nothing.
Well, that's where I'm getting back to what Justin said. You know, do I want to go ahead and
it's always
spend a grand on an attorney, or or just chalk it up as oops, that was a mistake, or that was a learning experience, and go from there.
Why you don't sue them for the purchase agreement price?
I can do that.
Yeah, you got all kind of options. But I'm just saying, the clean way, and I'm trying to be clean and direct. I don't want to do a lot of. We already did all that. That's late. We trying to get past that. Why can't the attorney, the one who's telling you, oh, look at the Bar Association said we got to do this, this, and this, and that. Why can't they reach out to them for you? I'm just asking. It's just a question.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't you involve, not me, Jim, going to talk to nobody, not me knocking on the door, not me sending no registered letter. Let the attorney contact them. Why can't he do it? I'm just asking the question, though.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Why not? Because that's the first route I would have went before I even went and started trying to deal with them. When I know they hate my guts, if they hate me, they will never see me again. There's no reason for me to go talk to them. I mean, unless it's like no other option. When there's other options, as Justin has given one, I've given one. I'm sure Art has one in his brain somewhere. You see what I'm saying? There's ways to solve stuff. You just have to go about it in a way.
The other thing I'm working on is I have a list of people that want lease to own, and I came up with an idea just at our real estate local meetup. they're looking. I have these people, 2 people, 3 people that are looking for a house, and I have a flipper that's in my group that has a house in inventory. And he said, actually, they flip like 55 or 60 houses a year. They're a pretty good size organization, and he's got a bunch in his inventory. And he's like, sometimes he said, we get houses where we think we got a good deal. And he said, we go in, we do the clean out, and we realize, it's going to take a little bit more than we thought. And, if we put a kitchen and a bath and all that kind of stuff in it, numbers are going to be tight. And I said, well, wait a minute. My client may not care if it's got the fresh, brand new granite countertops and new kitchen. I said, maybe what happens if it's just cleaned out and I take it from there? He's like, yeah, we might be able to work on a deal like that. That's for sure.
Well, question is, do they have long-term financing or do they pay cash for the deal?
They pay cash. It's their own family money.
Yeah, so if they got the money in the deal and you can get long-term financing, slam dunk. Why not?
So what I was thinking of doing is getting a DSCR loan.
No.
Okay, talk to me.
Why would you be getting a DSCR loan? I'm just asking. This is just a question. Why would you be getting a loan?
My thinking is that that's a quick, easy loan that I can just go to the bank and get.
Why?
And it's not it doesn't affect my credit or anything like that.
Why?
I was thinking that's the easiest way to do it.
The seller is the easiest way. There's no financing better than getting it direct from a seller. In any situation, there is no better.
He wants his money. He operates his business on the velocity of his money. So he's in and out.
He's not doing a seller. So I just want to be clear about that. He's not willing to do anything creative on his end.
Not necessarily true. He told me he would finance 25%, but he wants the 75%.
Well, there you go. You get somebody to put that much down, and then you can still do a deal. But I would not be going to get a loan to buy his house. That don't make sense. There's probably a better opportunity out here other than what he's selling you on the market. If I'm going to go get a loan, I'm going to get a loan on something that's a great deal. Not a good deal, a great deal. Okay. Is this a great deal or a good deal?
I haven't. We're still just in talk. I got
it ain't great. Hell no, we ain't doing no loans. Okay. It gotta be great. Like I got a $300,000 house for $90,000. I'll go get a loan tomorrow if I had to. But that's not the numbers we're dealing with here. We're talking about regular numbers. Why would I go get a loan, lock myself into 30 years on something when it's not necessary?
Well, my thought is that I'm getting the equity of the house over time. So obviously I'm going to sell it for, a bit more than what I'm buying it for. Yeah, and I'm getting it.
But that's saying a bit more. I'm not going to get a loan to get a bit more of anything. If I go get a loan, I'm getting a huge chunk where it's like, damn, that was a good loan to go get, where I can mess up and still be good. We don't want to get a little bit. We want to get huge chunks, so we're going to go take the risk. We want to remove the risk and increase the profits. Is that making sense?
So it sounds like the ones that I need you're suggesting the ones is just the ones that I would find at a great deal.
At a great deal. Like it has to be like, damn, if you don't do this deal, you crazy. That's the deals you want to go get a loan on if you had to. That's not my first option. I'm always going to rather work a deal straight with a seller, preferably. But if not, and the deal's so good, let's go crazy. It's worth $500,000. I can get it for $100,000. We gonna go get a loan. All right. That ain't the deal we talking about here.
So let me ask you this: on the ones that you all do lease options on, so timing, I think, is the thing. Like, do you buy them? And I'm trying to find the buyer first, and then find the house.
Why?
Because I want
to ask and come back to why we doing what we're doing. There's no reason to. Why are we doing that?
I'm doing the buyer first so that I'm not sitting on inventory. I don't want to be sitting on a bunch of houses nobody else wants.
You're not sitting on anything. You're putting it under contract. We're going to get some paperwork out. We're going to put it under contract, right? Today, we got it under contract. I'm buying this house from Ian. Ian got a good house. Can I buy your house, Ian? Can I buy your house? Okay, I'm buying this house, right? He's going to give me a good deal. We're going to structure a good creative deal. Don't matter what it is. Good deal. We got this paper. We're going to put it under contract with Ian. But we ain't closing until, let's see, what's today? The 25th of January. We're going to close, let's say, the end of February. 29 February, leap year. That ain't even this year. 28 February, we're going to close. And we're going to start making payments April 1, like we told Justin earlier. Still with me? This is all we got. Today we got under contract with Ian. I'm going to start marketing it today. I don't need to go close on it to start marketing it and showing it and finding if there's any interest in it. I'm going to go find Art, Hey, Art, you looking for a house? Art got 30,000 down. He looks for a house in this area. I ain't putting nothing up but this right here. Remember, I ain't putting no money in it. I'm not sitting on no inventory. All I did was lock it up with this paperwork. I found Art. Art wants to put his 30,000 down and move into this house that I'm getting for Ian, giving Ian his 10,000, keeping Art's 20,000 change for Hip Pocket National Bank. And what did I have in that deal, Jim?
Nothing.
Well, why are we doing all this other stuff? I'm just asking. I mean, why are we going to get loans and get appraisals and do all this stuff? That's risky. Why am I doing that? You're not saying that stuff don't work, but that stuff is risky for no reason. There's no reason to do none of that. Why would I go do all that red tape? Run my credit, get a hard pull.
Jim has to unlearn what he's learned before and just move all that stuff out the way. And just, if you lock in on this, I mean, this is like, I don't know, it's crazy. Like, people gave me $9,000 to move into a condo that was in the city of St. Louis, which the city is not the best neighborhood. $9,000 on a house that I had nothing in. I paid closing costs $1,000, so I made $8,000 for them to move in. And I'm making what I feel is a skinny cash flow of like $250 a month, but you know, it's $250. So
the house that you got no money in, right?
I have no money in. They signed up to pay $80,000 for it if they ever take out a mortgage or whatever. In the exit, I make $40,000.
How'd you find it, Justin?
That particular deal was a referral from another person who I was also working out a deal with. They stayed in a collection of condos that have a HOA issue. So that was that particular house situation.
Why were they selling? Why was the seller selling? Was it they owed the HOA? Is that what it was? Like a foreclosure?
Yeah, so this particular situation is a little bit complicated. So basically, banks won't lend on these particular condos because the people stopped paying the condo fees. So the condo dissolved. So now the properties are uninsurable, uninvestable, unlendable.
Messy problems. We love messes like that. This is where we make money at. So he can do a slew of different things, a quiet title suit to clear that off of there, or whatever he chooses to do with this property, Jim. And that's why I say we don't want to get into these deals thinking that I got to risk a bunch of anything. You should be in deals with little to no risk. You should be being paid to take houses. Stop paying for houses, start being paid to take them.
I'm not finding good enough deals.
Are you marketing enough to find the good enough deals? Do people know you exist?
That's where
that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
With door knocking works, and I'm not saying nothing bad about door knocking, but you need to increase your lead flow. You need more leads. I mean, that's the moral of the story. We all need more leads. Everybody on this thing right now need more leads. If you ain't talking to enough people, you're never going to do a deal. Nobody knows you exist.
Are you contacting pre-foreclosures?
Yeah, that's all he does. Yeah.
I mean, it's like 10 houses in St. Louis that go to pre-foreclosure every single day. I don't know what would you in Virginia. Let me come out there and do a knock with you, Jim. Just go ahead. Look, you can go ahead, just fly me out there. I'll do a knock, and then we'll do the deals.
I think the thing I was finding with the door knocking here in the last while is I'm not finding the really good deals like what you're finding, Justin. So I'm finding these people that are like, they bought the house in 2002. They haven't made any payments, or they made like 5 months worth of payments, and then it's been a dance to stay in the house. And so they owe more than what they bought it for. And so, taking it over subject to or something like that just doesn't make sense. And they got huge arrears. And so that's why
all of those problems. Everything you just named, we have solutions to every problem you just said. There are solutions to all of that stuff.
So that's why
sounds like really good leads.
They want to sell, we want to buy. We'll find a way to buy the house.
But you were just saying earlier, like if I try to buy a house that is upside down, that's not a good deal.
Those are my favorite houses.
What's that?
Jim, that's because you're thinking we bringing money. You thinking we talking about bringing money for the arrears, and we're not.
Yeah, I ain't
Okay,
paid,
for example.
I ain't paid no arrears in about 3 years. What you talking about?
So, like for example, Jim, I got a property. It was a foreclosure. Josh brought it to the table, right? I think they owe maybe like $7,000 in arrears. I started marketing it for a tenant buyer. I also was marketing it as a cash deal. They owed like 78,000. I was waiting on the payoff to come back. I was taking offers from cash buyers. Ultimately, I got somebody to agree to buy it at 95. The payoff came at 88. So I'm only gonna make $8,000 on the deal, a little less than $8,000. So that deal, if the no matter how it end up playing out, I can still place a tenant buyer in there for $10,000. For example, I make $3,000, close on it, keep it, cash flow it, and stuff. So there's multiple options, and that house is, basically upside down. Is almost is it was just a little bit of room for a cash buyer to come to the table and take it off my hands, but with the rears and stuff, man, there's solutions to that stuff. You can apply. Go through the bank and apply to get the rears, put on the back of the loan and stuff like that. You don't have to close immediately. You can work with the seller to be able to try to, get the rears sorted out, or you can, and during that time while, the bank and you are in communication, you can market for a tenant buyer. And Shelly and the couple and stuff will be on here with us. They had somebody bring $30,000, fix their whole situation, cash, out of town buyer, a tenant buyer, not a cash buyer, a tenant buyer brought $30,000, fixed their whole situation. They had a lady up in their house who was destroying the property and always late on her payments, and it just took one person to come and fix their whole deal. He fixing up the house, he wants the house, he's making his payments now. So there's no telling what the marketplace might do, but you got to market it and see what happens.
True story. That's a good story to share with Shelly and Jim. I didn't know that's how that played out. That's really cool.
Yeah, they made out like a fat cat on that house. On the house they did a traditional rental on after I told them don't do it.
Yeah, last time I remember talking to them, I remember they were sharing that they was in the middle of that sad story where they was not knowing what to do. And then I remember Justin was talking to him about, both of y'all obviously was talking about getting a tenant buyer up in there.
Yeah, I kept telling them, don't rent it out. They're like, oh, we want to fix it up and rent it out. I said, just market it for a tenant buyer and see what the marketplace gives. Somebody came along from out of town, dropped $30,000, and they're going to take over the house. They got no money in the deal and didn't fix anything. They didn't go try to spend a bunch of money. They didn't go try to get a brand new loan. They didn't go try to do a whole bunch of this stuff that they tell you to go do. No, the marketplace is always correct. Regardless of what I think, let the marketplace decide.
Man, shout out them lease options. Hey, Jim, one other thing I'll say, Jim, prime example of how these things sometimes play out with the arrears. I got a deal under contract and escrow right now. It's a sub-2 deal. The sellers have about 14,000 in arrears. I end up going through all of the motions, got on the phone with the bank, asked them what can we do. They told one of the options was they're lowering the payment by $200. I got to make that payment for the next 3 months, and then basically they're going to put the arrears on the back of the loan. So, never really know how the arrears going to play out, but there are options out there. So besides paying it. So if did you know all of that already?
I've done some of that. Like I had one that I had under contract that I did a loan modification and got the arrears put on the backside of the loan. So I've done that one.
So if you're aware of those type of options, why are you saying that those leads with the older loans and high arrears, why do you say that those don't seem like good deals?
The ones that I was indicating weren't good deals are the ones that were purchased in like 2021, 22, something like that. And
why is it a good deal?
And the problem that I'm finding is that they owe more on them. Like the balance on their mortgage is more than what they bought the house for, because they made payments for a year and then they quit making payments, and then they keep getting it pushed and keep getting it pushed. They postpone the auction. and they haven't made a payment in like 2 years or 2.5 years or something like that. And so the lawyer fees keep going up, and the bank's charging, and nothing's getting paid, and the house quality is going down because they know eventually they're going to get kicked out. And then I come on the scene, and I got a house that I could move in and rent, but the mortgage on it, let's say what's owed on the mortgage to cash it out, let's say is $200,000, but it's only worth about 150 max in the condition it's in. Probably not even that.
Did they give you a payoff saying that?
That's what I'm saying. The payoff would be more than what I would pay for the house.
Right, but that's as a cash deal. In the creative space, we're just buying it for what they owe on it. As long as they got a nice low payment.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So why are those bad deals?
How's it a bad deal?
Then that's where I'm putting the two things together live time as we're talking about it. That's where I need to combine the talking with the bank and getting the arrears put on the backside, or doing the modification like you were saying, Art, and turn it into a cash flowing property is the bottom line.
Is your goal for cash flow for real estate? Is your goal cash flow, or is it
cash flow or equity, right?
Available, equity.
Cash flow is my long-term goal, but equity is what like being able to do a cash out refinance or something like that. Like that's what I need to flip some properties to make some money, I guess is what I'm saying. I need today money. I'm looking for some today money.
Wholesale to sub too.
What was that, Justin?
Wholesale the sub too.
Oh, okay. Now that's something I haven't done.
Do you have a vacant property right now?
Do I? No, I don't.
You have a vacant property? Oh, okay.
No, everything's rented
That's
right
where
now.
the money's at. Go find a property that's vacant. Get somebody to get some money to move in it. Have no money in it. You make money and get a house. Double whammy. Thank you, Mammy.
Jim, you know what you can do that I've been doing a lot lately as like supplemental income. You could start helping other landlords fill properties. If you're building a list of people who need somewhere to go, somewhere to stay, you can talk to them and see if they'll be open to the idea of having a tenant buyer come to their property. Talk to the landlord about the benefits of having a tenant buyer. Let them know that basically, hold on real quick.
Yep. I got one investor in our group. He is 100% on board for that.
If you got multiple leads that's in this exact scenario that we're discussing, you should call them up and see if they're willing to sell for what they owe. If they are, you should do what Chris said, make sure it's marketable, put it out there and see what you can get. You could put the whole thing together and then close on it at one time, and then you got something right there.
With $0 in the pot. I ain't talking about spending a bunch of money. That's what everybody get mistaken about this thing. We're not talking about going to spend $100,000 and risk your money and risk your credit. Oh, it's just to pull my credit one time. That's what they all say. I ain't putting no loans in my name or my entity name. No loans.
Jim, get on Zillow and call through the all the properties that's for rent and look for ones that's been like 60 days, vacant, or the listing been pending for 60 days.
Oh, that's a great idea. I haven't thought of that. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, those properties are sitting empty. They need people. Hey, I got a process. We'll place a tenant buyer. They're never going to buy the property. And if they do, you make, 50 grand, 100 grand, and just call through those people. Obviously, it's on a public directory as far as who owns the property. Skip trace their number. Call them up. Hey, I seen your property listed. They may even have their phone number right there on the listing, and you just call them up. Hey, I wanted to see what you guys were, doing with the property and stuff like that. I specialize in placing tenant buyers. Would that be something you guys would be open to doing?
I love that.
Or just go straight for the jugular and say, would you sell it? And then you get it on terms, and then you put a tenant buyer in it.
Yeah, because they might be a tired landlord at that point. They might be like, I'm tired of empty places and this, that, and the other. And I say, I'll fill it for you. Or not, rather than filling it, just say, I'll buy it
on terms. And that's why you can get those expired listings or those listings that's been on the market over 90 days. There's people on the market for a long time vacant right now paying 2 mortgages. All they got to do is get tired of paying that mortgage and want to talk to you. There's deals out here that don't cost money.
That's why I joined this call.
Yeah, Jim, you should definitely follow up with them leads that you got currently, man, and see which one of them might be wanting to sell for what they owe. Because there might not be no other way they could sell their property.
You are the answer to them. You are the result that they need. You are the answer. Put it on the market is not the answer every time.
And that's why I wanted to brainstorm this stuff, because that's what I got. I got 2 lists. I got a list of people that I'm door knocking that need to get rid of their house, and I got, on the other hand, I got a list of people that are begging me to do a tenant.
Okay, so let's go down this rabbit hole for a second, because you've mentioned it twice now. These people that are so-called tenant buyers, how much can they put down towards a down payment?
The guy that I'm talking to right now is $68,000.
He got $68,000. I go find him a house. What we talking
Jim,
about?
fly me out right now. I know exactly where to put him.
I'm gonna knock my neighbor over. You move out.
How many bedrooms he need?
Hey, I got 20 grand for you to move out your house today.
Why you ain't got him a house yet? If he got $68,000, I'm gonna go find somebody, even if I got to get him 20 of it.
So here's the scoop of my $68,000 guy. He gave me a day to find him a house, and he wound up signing a rental agreement. But he's still on my list. He wants to keep in contact because he said he wants to do his 6-month lease that he's on right now, but he wants to buy a house at the end of that lease.
Go find him a house, Jim. What are we doing?
Go knock on those pre-foreclosures.
I wouldn't even do that. That's working too hard. I told you, go on the market, on the MLS, active duty. They're right there. Go to redfin.com, go active, been on the market over 60 days, and contact every agent on there that fits the criteria of your tenant buyer. Hey, yeah, we got a way we could buy your house. We'll pay your commission, yada, 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 and get them the price they want and sell it to the guy that's there. And it don't cost you any money to do any of this. You're using the other person's money.
Right.
Yeah, this will be the one time I recommend that you can tell them you can give them 20 grand.
I wouldn't offer them anything, but I could tell them we can put some money in their pocket and see what they want. Let them say a number, because he who says a number first loses. And I don't like to lose. I like to choose. But find out specifically your guy with $68,000, what he wants, and find the house for him. It's that easy. Now, who else do you have other than that guy? Because that's a unicorn. That's not normal. Who else you got that got some big money down?
So I got 2 other people that are looking. One's looking for a house in the city, and the other one's looking for a house in the county. And they both say they have $10,000 to put down.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of low for me to go out of my way. I would be spending some energy on that $68,000 guy, even though he probably don't have that much now. He probably spent some of it because they got that money burned in their hand. But still, they got something. You're working with something. All I need is a person that wants to buy and a person that wants to sell, and I make the deal happen. That's
and what I see is tax time's coming. People are going to get their returns back, and so I need to be able to
worry about that. If I find a great deal, somebody gonna drop that money. A great deal, not a good deal, a great deal. Your job is to find a great deal and sell them a good deal. What's so hard about that? Did you see the house I just bought last week?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
show them the house, Chris.
Oh, let me show them this. But I gotta ask you something. Let me see. This house here. Just got this house. Just closed on this last week, right before the snow blizzard. I mean, what could you do with a house like this, Jim?
I'd list that one for a lease to own for sure.
Yeah. Now I got a good question for you, Jim. Don't tell them, y'all, how much I come out of pocket to get this house.
0.
And this is let me go back, a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot house.
That thing is purty.
So how'd you find this?
I think it's nice.
Now, and you say how much I come out of pocket, Jim?
Probably 0, because I know you.
No, not yet, but it will be 0. I did come out some money to get it. But if you was to pick a number that's bigger than 0, what would you pick?
4,000.
Pretty close, $4,900.
I was going to say 5, but
so if somebody come drop me 10, 20, 30, whatever they drop, I got $5 grand in the pot. But that was a deal worth taking down. Look at the house.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Why are we messing around with little junky houses and all this other stuff? We can get beautiful homes that people want to live in. And there's a lot of people that want this house. I've had 3 people tell me they had 10 grand. I told them stand by. We got to see what else we can get out here. That's a little low. I need 20. I need a good 10% at least, or at least 20,000. That's for a move-in ready house. That's crazy. So I don't have to jump through hoops and take the first person. But I got people. Oh, I got 5 grand. I got 10 grand. It's kind of low. I'm not saying no, but that's kind of low. I'm gonna wait a little bit and see what else we get. Ooh, that round 2 times real quick.
Let me borrow that from you for like a year first.
Right. So it can be done, Jim. Expired listings, people who have already tried to sell, and people that's on the market right now. It don't cost no money. You ain't even got a doorknob. You can call the agent for free. It don't cost nothing to skip trace because you got their number. Agents are usually, on public record, or you can, if they answer their phone, that's the catch. But still, there's people out here that need your help. Your job is to make sure that they know you exist. Do they know you exist?
So that's what I did at the meetup that we had on Coffee for Friday breakfast. Is a bunch of agents from the area come in there, and they're unicorn agents, and so they like to work with investors. So I was telling them what I'm trying to do. And I said, if you ever get one of these properties, and so one guy says, well, I have this one. It's like listed right now for 169, but it's not moving. So,
would you sell it to me on payments?
That's
the question for him. And then what he said.
I didn't ask him that question, but now that you're mentioning it, what I was thinking about the DSCR loan thing.
No, delete that from your brain, Jim. You're not allowed to get a loan this year, or ever if it's up to me. Why are we getting a loan when they got a house they're trying to give away? They already got a loan. Now, if they on a hard money loan, that's something different. But if they got long-term financing, I'd rather take over that payment.
Oh my goodness.
Why would I go get a brand new loan and start the clock all the way over with 30 years when they already did 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? Why are we trying to go get a loan for? You don't need a loan. You need a solution to their problem. Loans don't solve problems. Solve problems.
That boy Jim.
Jim is determined to get a loan. You want to get a loan, Jim?
He's gonna get a loan, Chris. You ain't gonna stop this, man.
You can go get a loan if you want. But there ain't no reason to. That's not going to solve anybody's problem. That's in your brain. Delete that. The problem is they got a situation they need to sell the house. We have a solution. All they can tell you is yes or no. They say no, move on and follow it later. If they say yes, structure a deal and do the deal. Don't overthink this stuff. The only thought you should be asking is, what should I be asking? That's the only thought that should be coming in your brain. Hey, what should I be asking this guy? I think if Chris was here, he would probably ask him, would you sell it for what you owe on it? Oh, if Chris was here, would you sell it for on payments or something like that? If I made a payment every month, would that help you out so you don't have to make that payment? If I just took over that payment for you and put a little money in your pocket, you think that'll help you out? All they can do is say no. And if they say no, I'm not mad at you. If they say, well, tell me more. How will that work? Well, I'm glad you asked. Insert third-party story. Don't think too hard. Ask questions. Hope that's synced in tight.
Thank you.
Look at that. Jim can get a loan for me. That's what I was thinking. Hell, come get a loan for I got several things you can come get a loan on if you want to get a loan. I got stuff right now that can definitely take a loan on it. I got properties I took over subject to with over $100,000 in equity. You want a loan second lien position? Come get a loan on that. Let's see here. Bird says, is it necessary to open a trust before the deal? If so, when and what kind? Art, you got an answer for him?
Man, that's a really great question. So no, it's not necessary to open a trust before the deal. The point that you open a trust is at closing, because what happens in these deals is the property gets transferred to the trust and we take control of the trust. That's happening back to back, simultaneously, however you want to look at it. So the trust gets created at closing and we take control right after that.
That's right. So what we're doing, Bird, is a grantor revocable trust. The paperwork is in the Future Cash Flow Club at futurecashflowclub.com. The paperwork to make the paperwork is there. And if you're going to do this, what we do is they're transferring it, like Art said, from the seller straight to the trust. So it's not even coming in our name. At no point is our name going on public record. It's transferring from the seller to the trust. Now the trust owns the property. That document gets recorded. The date that it gets recorded is the date that trust is born. It's like a baby. The trust is born when it's recorded. Until it's recorded, that trust don't even exist. So hope that helps you out, Bird. So don't worry about the trust stuff too deep at this point. Get a deal, and we'll make it happen. Let's see here. Can he write it off on his taxes as a loss? I think that was talking about one of your deals, Jim. Can you write off yours as that 10,000 or whatever you put in that property as a loss?
It's money that went out, so it's an expense, I'm sure.
Yeah, it looks like a loss to me. Yeah, I lost it.
That's a legitimate loss.
It's a real loss, not a paper loss, a real life loss.
Yeah.
I'm new here, came across your live. What are you guys talking about? We're talking about real estate. We're talking about wholesaling. We're talking about creative financing. We're talking about subject twos. We're talking about solving problems for me and you through real estate. That's what we're talking about. Welcome. Talking about
what you think about doing some bird dog deals?
What's that?
What do you think about doing like a bird dog deal?
Oh, that I would do that.
Yeah,
and that's just where I'm finding something for somebody else. Get paid for the.
Right. So here's what I say to you. Right. If you go and door knock some foreclosures and stuff, listen to their situation or whatever, and then say, hey, your situation is very interesting. What I want to do is get one of my partners on the phone, who know a little bit more about this and who can help you out. And then call one of us up and put us on the phone and let us close them for you so you can get some stuff through the finish line.
We deal with all those problems of worrying about the arrears and worrying about this and worrying about that. I mean, it's part of the game, but I know he liked that type of stuff, Justin. He liked that paperwork, that back end stuff.
I mean, he could do the back end. We'll just do the closing.
No, I just
that's right. Just to say, I just need to talk to the seller. I want to get belly to belly.
I like
you
that.
You can get the mortgage statement, the pictures. You can dispo it if you want to, but we'll just, connect that bridge because it's okay. We all working on different things. I'm not good at the dispo back end stuff. I don't really like that stuff as much, but I'm good with communicating the message to someone. The deal I just did, I literally got no person involved. I never committed to a single number to anyone that was involved. I'm just saying, hey, we're going to figure it out on the back end. And they all went for it, and everybody about to be happy. So I think we're going to close Thursday or Friday.
And that's the game. You solve a problem. You didn't try to go in and overthink it and, I don't think they're going to do that. Don't think. Just ask questions and move forward. That's it. Turn your brain off. I know it's hard to do. Easier said than done.
I'll give you a call, Justin.
What do you think about what you heard so far, Jaden? You heard anything interesting?
It's pretty interesting. I was about to ask Jim, how long do you have until that guy is done? How long do you have for the $62,000 guy?
He said that it was important to him that since he already signed the paper for the lease, that he wanted to go through with the lease. And so he wants me to stay communicating with him because he said when the lease expires, the rent, when he's done renting and he's, at the end of, I think it was 6 months, then he's going to be ready to buy a place at that point. To do a lease.
As an expert researcher, he'll go find a house for him while we sitting there talking about it.
Yeah, and you already know what he's looking for and what he really
he wants a 4.2 just outside of town here in Lynchburg.
Gotcha. How easy do you think it is to find a 4.2? And honestly, you can probably get them set up by tomorrow, really. Get them lined up something by tomorrow.
Well, if I'm not getting a DSCR loan, which I don't do anymore. I don't know. I think that's where I'm stuck. Maybe that's where I'm stuck.
Yeah, that is the part where because you got to go through all that red tape. Why am I going to get a loan for? That means I got to come out money.
So if you're looking for a 4.2, you said inside of the city?
Yeah.
That's outside?
Outside the city.
He said just outside the city. So out, not like downtown.
What's wrong with any of these? Look at that. A 5-3, a 4-3.
Dang.
Oh, sorry. Let me fix my filters.
Yeah, those are the nice homes.
Hold on. Let me fix my filters. I'm
Nice
sorry.
homes.
How do you do that?
There's one other big parameter here is he wants his payments to be $1,800 a month.
Okay, Jim. So here's the thing too. When people be having money, a lot of them try to work you like a pawn in a puzzle and stuff. And if they haven't put no money in your pocket, you got to take everything they saying with a grain of salt, because they'll just try to, oh yeah, I'm a buyer, I buy everything and blah 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 blah. And then you'll get down to the wire, with trying to get something together, and they're like, oh no, that's not exactly what I'm, so I would just market and look for other buyers and stuff like
There's
that.
your house right there. I found it that quick. Didn't even take 5 minutes.
What's the address on that one?
Let me go back down. Let me see here. It's been listed since October. 229. Wow. So 4-2. Beautiful house. Looks like it's moving ready.
Now, what if the owner's not willing to do owner financing on that?
Well, we find out. I don't even think that deep. I ask questions. I know nothing but to ask questions. All they can do is tell me no. They say no, I keep it moving.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's been on the market since October. So what's that, 3 months? I think that's what I put in here. Over 90 days, right? What did I put on here? More than 60 days. Let me go more than 90 days. Let's make sure they got more pain.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
they need somebody to move in.
That's a big house there. You don't want that. He said his payments need to be what?
$1,800 a month.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, is the math even mathing on that? I don't even know if it do. 1,800
at the 229 mark, it would work.
It'd have to be a house like this. It can't be no much more than 250, right?
Right.
Yeah. So there's the perfect house right there, 229. Wham bam, thank you, man. Now if they'll do it or not, I don't know. Probably not. Probably will. Who cares? All we do is try. Worst thing that they can do is say no.
If he got 60-something thousand to put down for a lease option deal, he should be able to pay more than $1,800 a month.
Exactly. The math ain't mathing. All right, you said what I was thinking.
They be saying they want to pay a certain amount till they find something they really like, and they be like, "Oh man, I could pay $2,100."
They got money for whatever they want. Come on.
The fact that you don't want to pay that wouldn't keep you from paying that, would it?
Come on.
I had
matter of fact, Justin, like the guy that you had over there looking at the house, he wanted to be at like 1,500. I'm like, for a big house like this, 1,500 may not be realistic. I mean, even if you would have got a mortgage for $269, I don't think that your payment will be that low with taxes, insurance. I don't think your payment gonna be no, $1,500 or whatever they thinking. I mean, it might.
Those people came from seeing my house saying they got $7,500 to going to see. I took them over to one of Chris' houses. They were saying that they had 15 grand for something, and then after seeing the house, they was like, "We can borrow 10 more to bring 25 to the table to be able to get here."
Yeah,
they come up with the money for what they want. I let the marketplace decide. But his problem is I just want to get the payment real low. It sounds good, but that's not realistic in this thing. How are you going to do that?
Well, you bring up a good point, though, is that, that might be what he's saying right now. But, really, if somebody's making $1,800 a month payment, what's the difference between 18 and 2,000, really? I mean, they don't get coffee every morning and something like that. It's not like
you got to cut the McDonald's.
Cut
the McDonald's, cut the McDonald's, cut the Starbucks, and you can live in your beautiful home.
So again, it's what you were saying, Chris. If they want it, they're going to come up with it somewhere.
Right. So your job is to go find a great deal and present them with a good deal. Don't overthink it. Don't overprocess it. And it don't even matter if you don't want it. If it's a great deal, somebody else will buy it anyway. So we're overthinking it again. I'm trying to remove the thinking part. I don't want to think that hard. I'm only thinking, what question should I be asking?
I will say, I'm sure we all see ourselves as very smart people, right?
No.
This philosophy really warps, like, I think my train of thinking. I don't know about y'all, but it's very hard for me to be consider myself to be a smart guy to have to just revert to just asking nothing but questions, assuming nothing, and then like how everything just comes together. Like, it's an interesting philosophy and a way of looking at life and stuff, especially me coming from a sales background where we're used to present. And, with real estate, this stuff, it's not the same thing as, hey, would you consider? Have you ever thought about? So if I'm able to do this for you, are you saying that we can do this? What are you willing to accept? Are you willing to sell it for what you owe on it? Just asking them, and they collect the information and they'll tell you, and it makes everything go smoothly, especially when they feel like they put it together and everything.
It makes it feel. It don't even feel like selling, do it? It's like they close themselves by answering my questions.
This Asian guy, this guy got a sign in front of his house, for sale by owner. I literally hit him up. He told me like, hey, if you could bring a buyer to the table for the price I'm looking for, we can do something. I got an offer over to him with a creative, and his response was, what can you show me some numbers, some details on a 15-year term? I'm like, wow, this guy really going for this. I just knew he was gonna be like, oh no, I need all my cash. I'm like, okay, cool.
And the same thing with the people you're talking to, Jim. You have to ask them, would you take payments on it? Don't assume, oh, he's an investor, he ain't gonna do that. Ask them, make them tell you no. They gotta tell you no. Don't assume nothing. If they say, hell no, I ain't never doing that, then we move on. But if they're like, well, I don't mean, how will we structure that? I'm curious. I'm glad you asked. Now we have the conversation. Don't ever close the door on yourself. Let them close the door on you. Ooh.
One thing I would piggyback off of that and say is, Justin, you made a lot of good points there. I would also say add to that by saying to keep it simple for everybody, the newer people, it's really just a process that we have to follow on from A to Z on all of these things. And that process is just going to be getting these leads in, getting them qualified, asking them the same old questions, and then moving on to the offer phase and getting them closed out, whatnot from there. So it's very important that we just work these processes the way they're being laid out, and then it's going to get us where we're trying to go. And then if we're not getting results, then it's usually because we're not following some part of that process.
So it's kind of like McDonald's. We just have a conveyor belt. We're making cheeseburgers. We're making hamburgers. We're doing all this stuff. We're just sticking to the script. Everybody trying to do all this extra stuff. I think I want to do fish sandwiches. I think I want to do all barbecue ribs, McRibs. No, just stick to the basics and the fundamentals and ask the good questions and present them an offer and let them tell you no. Don't be afraid of somebody telling you no. That's the biggest thing I could take away from all of this, especially when you're talking about closing, sales, etc. Do not be afraid of asking a question and allowing them to tell you no. And if they say no, what makes you say that? And make them justify why they said what they said. Oh, no, I don't think we can do that because my bank said we can't do it. So what if there is a way that we can get it done, regardless of what you believe the bank says? I mean, would you be wanting to move forward with it if there is a way we can get it done? If we could find a way to get it done? Make them tell you no. No, I would never do that. If they never do it, move on. Matter of fact, I was cold calling some people today, pre-foreclosures right here live. Because I was like, well, we're snowed in. Let's make some calls. So I'm thinking, ain't nobody going to answer. First lady answered, we're doing a bankruptcy. We're doing a bankruptcy. We're going to keep the house. They auction tomorrow, by the way. I still see it up at auction. 11:30 tomorrow. Good luck. They might get canceled because of the snow, so we'll see how that goes. They might got a blessing in the skies.
I ain't never think about that. They'll do it online?
Huh?
Online? They'll do it online? They do it
physically? I don't know. All I know is she told me she wants to keep the house, which is great, fine. And she told me to get bankruptcy. So I'm done with her. I don't even think about it. Move on to the next person.
The auction has to be a physical meeting in today's time?
They did. Don't even care. The lady said they want to keep the house and they did a bankruptcy. So I keep it moving. I don't even worry about them like that.
I get you.
Especially with an auction tomorrow anyway. I probably shouldn't even call them, but I was just like, well, let's just be curious. Right. If they want to do something, let's see if we can do something. But they said they want to keep it. So I'm moving on. So the second call was a better call. I found a guy who was the I guess stepfather of a guy who's deceased in the property or died in the property up here in Florissant. And he said they want to sell the house and he wants to work with me. So matter of fact, I got his call here because I actually talked to him first on the call a little bit, gave him my information or whatever. As soon as I ended the live, he called me back. I'm like, really? I could have kept the live on to keep it all documented so you can see how we move and groove. But this is the call here. Let me see if I can share my screen.
Damn. On a snow day.
On a snow day. Everybody telling you can't do this, man. on a snow day. Let's see what he did. Uh-oh, can we hear him?
And the dog started barking and everything.
But they didn't get inside the house. They just broke in the gate, you think?
That's all I could see. I walked around and I couldn't see what at that time they broke in the house. So I think they just broke in the gate. Now here, I have a key to the back door which goes through the garage. As I said, I refuse to go in the house because I just couldn't deal with his death. That sounds strange, but it's been very difficult for me. But now I guess I'm gonna have to go in the house. Okay, when I just talked to her, I explained to her what was going on with her getting this call from a couple of people, couple of buyers, that it's public knowledge now, and she's going to get some calls. And so I told her what I would do. I would, when talking with you, I feel comfortable working with you. Okay, you here in Florida, and that I would work with you, and we can go from there. Now the thing is, as I said, I have a key to. I know you got to see the property.
Yes.
I have a key to the back door, which goes into the house. I don't have a key to the front door. Now, what she was telling me, I just talked to her, that what they did, they put a lot of furniture up against the front door.
To keep people from getting in there, huh?
That's what she said. So what I'm going to do now, I will call. We can't go through the front door, but I will have her to send me a key to the front door. But I will get with you this week sometime, and we can go through the back and you can look at the property.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you don't have to get any special keys or anything made, because when we buy, we switch all the locks anyway. So.
Right. Okay. Well. Long as I'll go with. As I said, I haven't been in there because it's been dead for 2 weeks in the house.
Wow. What did the police say, or did they even try to do anything? What did the police say, or did they try to do anything?
Okay, it's a long story. He and his fiancée had broke up. He was ill, okay, but he hid all that from me. I know nothing about his illness. They kept all that from me. He took ill. He was over the road with truck driver. He took ill on one of his routes out in Colorado. He came home. They brought him home, and then he had a couple of episodes. I understand where he had to go to the emergency room, but in the process, he put his fiancée out.
Oh wow!
And so he was there by himself. Now I knew none of this. Okay. When I found out about his death was my other son, his brother, wife, called me yelling and screaming, saying, Gerald is dead, we over here, don't come over here. That's how I found out about it. So
wow.
It's been very, very stressful for me. And of course, for somebody being dead for 2 weeks in the house, they had to be fumigated and all this other stuff they told me. I said, I haven't been in there. Okay.
Wow.
What I'll do is we can go through the back. I'll come over and meet you, and we can go through the back door, and you can see the property. I said, what I'll do now, I'll give you her name and telephone number. Then I'll call her and tell her what I just did. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, you can have her give me a call. I definitely talk to her. See, I just want to make this easy as possible for you guys, because I know it's stressful enough dealing with all the moving parts, and see what we can do to help
I
out.
want to give you all the points because I'm sort of, as I said earlier, I've been out of the picture. I didn't want to be in the picture.
Yeah, they're gonna put you in there one way or the other, huh?
Now they're putting me in the picture. Okay, and I'm not nowhere on nothing. They've already got plenty of money out of it and everything.
Really? Wow.
You know how that works, yeah.
Yeah, they get all the good stuff real quick, right?
Yep, all the good stuff, yeah. Okay, just to give her name. Her name is Kiara, K-I-E.
All right. So yeah, that's basically he was just telling me somebody died in the property. The owner of the property passed away in the property. And they was dead in there for 2 weeks back in July. And this person, so 6 months have gone by, and the bank is trying to take the house at foreclosure. So that's a family member or somebody related to him or something, and the daughter's out of town, so nobody's here in St. Louis other than him. But he live in U City, so I'm coordinating with him. He said he wants to work with me, and we're gonna make something happen for him. What do you think about that call?
I think it was a really good call. The thing that really stuck out the most to me is your active listening skills of just letting this dude just talk about whatever he wanted to say. And you just like, man, for real? And he just going. And then my favorite part is when he just like out of nowhere go from talking about all of that and then go right back to the what you wanted him to talk about. So that was a good call.
Right.
That's a skill set. Sometimes it's better just to say nothing. Let them vent. Let them rattle all that off, because that's called building rapport. The more they talk, the more they feel like you know them. Let them talk. Let them vent. Let them tell you what they're worried about, what they're thinking about, what they want to happen. They got to tell you all this stuff. I don't have to close him. He said, "Oh, I feel comfortable with you." I'm like, I ain't even do nothing but listen to you. What you think about that call, Jaden?
I think that was pretty good. Active listener.
Active listening. You don't have to do all the talking. I'd rather for them to be doing all the talking. Even though I do have questions for him and stuff, which I'll get to, but he's an older guy, as you can tell. So I want to take my time, work at his pace. He already said he don't want to be involved in this mess. He trying to get out of it. The daughter is the person that they left the property to, which lives out of town. And then there's 2 other siblings. He said they ain't worth a darn. I think he said that in the beginning of the call before I started recording, or before I put it on the video. And so, yeah, I mean, that's what we got. Any other thoughts about that call?
Is that the house that you just bought, or is that the one that you're working on now?
Brand new deal today.
Oh, okay.
When I called today, I called him earlier today. The house I just bought, I think I got calls of her too. I did put up her call originally, but I've been talking to that lady for months, and we finally got.
That was a divorced couple.
They ain't even divorcing after all that. I think they were just arguing about that house. Because
the number one that separate people is the finances.
Number one reason for divorce is the financing. Correct.
Yeah. I think it was a beautiful call and everything. The shit be getting so easy once you kind of like just know the process. It's actually kind of mind blowing what people are willing to do and stuff. It's like, I don't know, man. I really be like wondering, like, man, we need more people out here to tackle some of this stuff that's going on here. People just unaware. Speaking of that, I had, I encountered this week with a girl who needed her garage door fixed, and she was in the middle of she moving somebody into this property on the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my friend, out of town chick or whatever. So she's like a realtor or whatever. And apparently she from St. Louis, and she owns a couple of properties and stuff from St. Louis. And when I was talking to her, it just reinforced to me that there's so many people out here that just get real estate and just make stuff up. They don't know nothing about nothing. They just like make stuff up. And I'm like, a lot of the stuff that they doing is illegal, borderline illegal. Like, I don't know, like for example, some of the stuff I was going into with her is she never had the deed transferred. So she doesn't have ownership of the property. She has possession of the property, but not ownership. And she's saying that she has a power of attorney and stuff, so it's all good. And I'm like, what do you mean by power of attorney? And she's like, oh, the guy, he's in jail, he gave me power of attorney. And I'm like, what? So, just making up some stuff. She's like, oh, I did some research and all of this. Some of the stuff that I learned in doing this real estate stuff is, for one, do you know when someone dies, the power of attorney actually ends? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people think that power of attorney extends beyond someone's life.
Right.
Also, if a person leaves a will, do you know that will is only effective for 1 year?
And a will just means you will go to court.
Exactly. And then another thing, when you don't have the deed and you call yourself rent out the house and stuff, if you and that person, you and the tenants have a issue or conflict and you don't have the deed, if you try to evict them, you don't have equitable interest in the property, so you really can't evict them. And if they
Well, there's a way to get around that one, Justin.
what's the way to get around that?
They don't even look at that because I've had to do this before. And you know, I don't have no properties in my name, so I definitely can get them out of there without that. That's why we go through attorneys. This is why I was saying earlier about, you know, even though I know it's saying like, oh, we can just do it, you know, cheap and do this stuff on our own. Man, third party always stronger, man. It's just ways to solve these problems. Let them go serve them. Let them go through the process. Let them file all the paperwork. And they can definitely do it. They ain't go check and see who owned it or none of that. They just need the lease document. They're going off the lease, not who owns the property.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a loophole. Legal loopholes, baby. You got to love it.
Wow.
I ain't never had no problems because, you know, my properties are all in different trusts. I've never mentioned a trust on any lease document ever.
Now, if you don't have the deed, though, you have no equitable interest, so you can't take an insurance policy. An insurance policy won't pay out to anything that you can touch.
Maybe. I mean, it depends on how you structure it. I mean, like I say, so, I mean, I don't know if I want to say it on this live stream, but there's ways to do everything. There's always a way. They say you can't do it. What? Watch this. I bet I found a way to do it. Who said you can't do it? Remember, I had 2 house fires in 2022, and both of those properties were in a trust, and the named insured was an LLC, and they paid both. So, you know, everybody.
You have your name on the LLC.
The property is titled in a trust.
Okay.
The named insured was an LLC.
Right.
They paid it out. No,
you had a bank account that allowed you to deposit that money and pull it out with the LLC.
Yeah, it's a business. It's my business.
Right. What I'm saying.
The named insured, let me be clear again. The trust is in 123 Justin Holmes Trust, right? That's who holding the property. 123 Justin Holmes Trust. But we got, let's see, Jaden LLC is the named insured. They paid Jaden LLC as the named insured. No trust documents shown, no paperwork shown. I don't know if they're supposed to do that, but they did it twice in 2022. Paid me out. They didn't ask for none of that stuff. So this is where I come back to say, you know, it sounds like it should be what you say it should be, Justin. But from my experience, none of that stuff's connected. None of that stuff.
Wait, so they didn't ask for anything?
Well, it's the named insured. I'm the named insured, or my LLC is the named insured on that policy. They sent the check to the named insured.
They're not doing internal investigations?
Yeah, they did their investigation of the property, but they didn't come digging into like who owns the property and how long you had it and what's the equity and what's your loan balance. They didn't ask all that. They never asked none of that stuff.
Oh, well, shit.
But once again, you got to remember we're dealing with non-owner occupied policy. This isn't not a house we're living in. They might be more, nitpicky on a house you're living in, but on a non-owner occupied policy, they paying the name insured. They didn't ask for anything. I didn't send them nothing but a copy of a lease to get my 1 year of rents, lost rents. I sent them a lease for that, and they sent me a check for the full insured amount on both properties.
So basically, if it was a traditional policy, progressive, something like that, and it was owner occupied, they might look into to see who has the deed to the property.
They might. And some companies might, but they just didn't own those. So, you know, even if they did, it ain't like I can't produce to say, hey, look, but it's like I didn't offer it and they didn't ask for it, so I didn't bring it up.
So none of the evictions you filed, they've ever
never.
Do you think if a tenant buyer or a renter or whoever shows up to court and say he don't even own that house, you think that's
well, you got to remember when we're talking about court, we're talking about paperwork. Your paperwork precedes you before you go to court. The paperwork is what? A lease. You signed a lease with this person. That's all they dealing with. They ain't talking about who owns the house. That's not the issue right now. That's not the question at hand as a legal question. Now you can raise it maybe, but the judge probably gonna say you got a lease with him, right? We got a copy of your ID. You closed with a real estate attorney. We got all your stuff here. What we talking about? You can raise it as an issue, but who said they're going to honor that? That's a whole separate issue that has nothing to do with you not paying your rent or not fulfilling your obligations of that lease. Nothing to do with that.
I need to go lay down and think about this. This is very interesting to me.
Now, if it did, let's just say they did. I can create a document to say that I'm the property manager of the property. That's nothing. So I'm not worried about none of that stuff. All this stuff ain't nothing but paperwork. I'm not worried about it. I can assign or appoint this person or this company or this entity as property manager. What's that? That ain't nothing. You signed a lease with this entity. This entity is taking you to court for you're not paying your lease. You need to pay that entity. They ain't got nothing to do with who owns the property. Not saying, like I said, not saying they can't bring that up, but I don't worry about stuff like that. Bring it on. I tell them, bring whatever y'all got, because they don't know all this stuff. They don't know I know all the loopholes. If I don't know the loopholes, I'm gonna learn them.
How we get out of paying property taxes, Chris?
Get a trust. It's a different type of trust. I haven't done this, so I don't talk about stuff I don't do. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay. People say you can do it. I've only come across one property that was not paying property taxes. That actually wasn't even on the tax rolls, and the property was in St. Louis County. They had the house since like the 70s. I looked. I said, "Damn, they ain't even on the tax rolls."
So I was telling my uncle to go ahead and let me bury him in the backyard whenever he go. That way we can classify the crib as a cemetery.
You do what now?
I told my uncle when he go ahead and pass, we're gonna bury him in the backyard so we can classify the house as a cemetery.
Is that gonna give you some type of status?
Yeah, that's gonna make us tax exempt because cemeteries don't pay for taxes based on the Missouri Constitution.
Hell, we're gonna start burying mugs in the backyard right now.
What else does that do?
It's just a classification. If you classify it as a cemetery or a mortuary, you can under Missouri law, those are tax exempts.
Oh, Missouri. Okay, I'm finna say this thing.
I don't know about the entire country, but Missouri in our Constitution it says that.
Because I was about the next house I close, I might as well make it a cemetery, just in case.
Transfer somebody. Where you get that at, Justin? I can't find it.
Yeah, fact check. Let's do it.
You know I'm all about that stuff. Don't be come talking about no loophole. I'll bury your body in the backyard today. I just put in Missouri real estate tax exemption, and it said basically for charitable, education, and religious, senior property tax freeze, Missouri property tax credit, disabled veteran POW. When I get my 100%, I will be not paying taxes on this house anymore. And then natural disaster exemption, whatever that is. But
Chris, have you ever heard of allodial title?
I have. Let me see. Cemetery exemption.
Yes, the Missouri Constitution, Article X, Section 6, exempts real and personal property owned by nonprofit cemeteries from taxation. This applies to land used exclusively for
exclusively is the catch. Exclusively. That's the key word. See, they wrote that in the you right there that whatever that is, but it's exclusively was the word you said. I caught that word. Exclusive use. Meaning you can't live on it.
Well, I got 3 parcels on my property, so I think I can argue that one parcel is exempt from taxes. Just me. I don't know about it.
You can do family burial grounds. Okay. So yeah.
Does it exclusively still apply? Exclusively is up to interpretation. We can argue exclusively.
I don't know about that one. Exclusive is kind of a regular old word to mean exclusive. This only.
So you're saying you can't live there is what they're saying.
Exclusive. The property must be used exclusively for the interment of the human dead. You can live there on a cemetery if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it.
And also, it says non-profit. Is that home that you're making?
And they gotta be.
Are you making money off of it?
No, it's personal.
Personal. Okay.
And must not be operated for private or corporate profit.
Exactly.
I mean, but if you got a separate parcel, that just deals with that parcel, the one you're still living in, you can't do nothing with.
Right.
It's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, there's other ways, I'm sure, but I mean, it's a good try. If you got a bunch of land doing nothing with it, and you're like, hey, we're gonna make it family burial grounds and use it just for that, there's nothing wrong with that.
That way you keep it in the family forever.
Who gonna want it? Unless they dig them up like they did them people by the Metro Link, by the airport. Look at that. She said he learned about borough and tax exemption from President Trump.
I guess I want to do in Florida. Did it say exclusively? Because on his, he buried his ex-wife at like the 8th hole on Mar-a-Lago. I don't think they're gonna let him not pay taxes on that much property like that.
Well, let's cheat. Let's see who has the best by the state. Missouri got it. California got it. Texas got it. Okay. Them the only ones I can see.
You know, Florida is the only state where they cannot sue you and get your assets. They can't sue you and get your property.
So that's called charging order protection.
That's amazing.
You just don't put it in your name. But that's called charging order protection.
We don't need to move to Florida in order to protect property from our personal losses. Yeah, I get it.
Correct. And that's the same thing. I think Washington too. It's a couple of states that have good charging order protections, meaning they can't just sue your entity and try to get to you and take your stuff. So I mean, you know, it's all just stuff. But it's good that you're digging there, Justin. I see you ain't playing around.
What are some states that don't really protect you? So I know like some states
Blue
like
states, New York.
New York is bad.
Wisconsin, Michigan, I don't know. Illinois, I don't know. I'm just making that
Don't
up.
slide into the politics, Chris.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't
you
do
know, the whole wholesaler thing. When that LLC thing hit my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, so I could just sell LLCs to get around the wholesale thing.
that if they find out you did, you just pay the fee.
Right, it's better to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission, right?
What you said.
And there's no way they're gonna be able to track how much money I've made, so I'm sure the fee is gonna be.
Well, it depends on the title company. Every title company is not the same. Some of them here are very meticulous. They want a tax document signed off, W-9s, all of that stuff. And then some, I've never filled out a W-9 or any tax documents and I close deals with them. So
Yeah.
everybody's different. They're supposed to do it. You know, you can close deals and they never even do the paperwork right. That's like ghost money. That's bad. They ain't doing proper accounting, but I don't get in the middle of that. I let everybody do their job. I'm good at my job. Y'all just be good at y'all's.
Let me ask you about this situation I got going on, Chris. So I got a property in Illinois. The lady is running me down, trying to give it to me. We talked about me just taking over the LLC. I sent it over to Freedom Title. I keep telling her, hey, let's see what title says. Let's see what title says. Title taking forever.
Somebody calling. Hold on one second. Oh, that ain't nothing. I thought that was one of them sellers calling back. How they get this? I was gonna get excited and say, "Oh, we got a deal." No, go ahead.
So title taking forever, and she's paying the note, and she's tired of paying the note. So she's kind of like consulting with her attorney, and then she's trying to move the deal forward. I've been marketing this thing maybe like 40 days, and I can't get nobody up in it at this point. So, would you continue to still push and accept that deal, or should I just go ahead and dip out?
Well, coming back to the beginning, you said that Freedom Title is taking long, right? What we need from Freedom Title is one thing right now and one thing only. What is that, Art? I bet Art don't know this
one. We need to know from them, what do we need to do to get closed on this deal?
Correct. But there's a document we need, and it's called a preliminary title report. That's what I need from Freedom Title. A preliminary title report. Show me what liens are popping up on this property. Is this free?
You accept the LLC thing? Like you trying to push?
It's not about an acceptance on that. They don't have nothing to do with them. That's why I said step one, get a preliminary title report from Freedom Title, whoever you got. They give you that report. That'll show you if there's liens on this property. Now, then once you see the liens, you figure out which route you want to go. If you see it's a bunch of junk on there, you got to go through title, man. But if it's like, it's just a sewer lien and a mortgage or whatever, you can take the chance and just have her sign over the LLC. But if you're not giving her no money anyway, it don't matter.
Does that still take the deal?
Well, you can. What I'm saying is, if she's giving you the deal, you just won't have clean title. It's going to be a guess up to you if you want to do it that way. If you get the title report and it don't show anything on it, but the stuff you're aware of, then you can take it over if you're not giving her anything. It's like somebody just gave you a house.
Right.
But if there is things that pop up on it, like, hey, I don't know about that, and I don't know what that is, we got to go through title, get this cleaned up. Then you want to go through title.
Okay.
But as far as whether you stay in the deal or not, I don't know. That's up to you on that part. How much you got to be in it to get in it?
I mean, she giving it to me. It's gonna the payments are like $850 a month, and shit, I've been over there cleaning it up or whatever. You know,
You got signs in the neighborhood?
I have not had.
But that's why it ain't selling. I rest my case. Jim, come tell him, Jim, get back on there. Jim, you caught him slipping, Jim. He ain't got no signs in that neighborhood.
What's that now?
He ain't got no signs in the neighborhood.
You're right, Jim. I take full responsibility.
I was digging through the expired listings here in Virginia, in Lynchburg.
Yeah. Jim, make sure you got our number for real. Go and talk to the people and just call us. Don't advise, don't give them no information. If they willing to sell, just put us on the phone.
There you
Gotcha,
go, Jim.
man.
They took like 10 of Chris signs over there in Blackjack. I was like,
Guess what? Look at that. Brandon was in and I already put them back. Come on with it. In the snow.
You put them back over there?
Before the snow. Rent to own, no bank needed, no credit.
That's the sign that filled my house.
So there you go, Justin. That's why you ain't got a person in there. You need 10 signs in that neighborhood.
Right.
Because I mean, especially over there, it's got to be somebody to be over there anyway. Like, oh, I want to go over here by Big Mama. Good. Here you go. You got $5,000. You approve.
I put 4 signs in the yard, 4 signs in the neighborhood, 1 in the yard, 1 at the 2 at the one intersection, 1 at the other intersection on the other side of the property. And I was getting 20 phone calls a week.
Damn.
In that order.
Okay, let me quit playing. I've been playing.
You know, the only way something ain't selling is the marketing sucks. There's only 2 reasons a deal won't sell. But that's why I coming back to that every time. The price is too high or the marketing sucks. Which one do you think it is, Justin?
Market. I thought my marketing was strong, you know what I'm saying? But I give
you got it on Zillow too, or what?
Zillow, I've been getting, tons of people or whatever, but they just broke, you know what I'm saying? And and
I got a million people from a Zillow posting on that same one that I put the yard signs in, but I can tell you that there wasn't one lead that was one qualified lead that came from Zillow or Marketplace. I talked to a lot of people and I got a lot of chatter, but the ones that were seriously interested were the ones that saw the yard sign. And the reason why, and this goes back to stuff that you've talked about before, Chris, is because these are the people on Zillow are calling because they saw it on Zillow and they're not from the neighborhood. They don't know anything. They'll talk your ear off, but they're not going to do anything. The ones that see the yard sign, they were driving their kids to school. Their mom lives around the corner. Grandma lives down the street. And that's the house they want.
Come on. You got to hit them hard.
On that pillow.
Put that bad boy on Zillow. You got to hit them hard with the marketing. No shortcuts on the marketing. No shortcuts. Signage, Zillow, Facebook, and a system to collect all those people as you get them. A free landing page is what I always recommend.
Jim, was you there for like courses and stuff that taught you about like, some of the stuff you be saying?
What you mean?
Jim paying for like courses and stuff? Because I noticed you bring up a lot about, traditional like Burr and, DSCR loans and all of that stuff.
I do a ton of digging.
Say it again.
I do a ton of digging, just self-learner.
Oh, okay.
I haven't taken a ton of real estate courses or anything like that. Just self-learning.
You're from the school of hard knocks.
Gotcha.
So that's what we got. We just got to get the marketing strong, no matter what people think or say. You got to let people know you exist. To market to find motivated sellers on a regular basis, to market to attract tenant buyers, real people who got real money, and you got to weed them out. I don't like to do all those conversations like you said, Jim. I don't want to talk to those people. In fact, my AI is doing all the talking. They doing all the screening for me. They ask them how much can they put down, how much can they pay a month, all that. The AI doing all of that. I don't have to do none of that stuff. All I'm doing is going back, listening to the call or looking at the notes or calling them back if it sounds like they're talking about something. If I ain't talking about it, then I keep it moving. It's very important. All right.
When you have like your signs out, how do those calls usually go whenever people do call you?
For me,
Yeah.
I don't talk to them. The virtual assistant. I'm sorry, not the virtual assistant. The artificial intelligence talks to them. I don't talk to people.
I don't know. Like whenever, how do I word this? Whenever you were talking to them, or before the virtual assistant or AI, how did those calls go?
They go to a voicemail. If they calling this number right here, it goes straight to voicemail. I don't have no reason to talk to them. I'm telling you everything you need to know. You need to have a down payment. Very, very loud and clear. You got to have a down payment to move into any of our homes. And then we tell them how the program works. And if they want more information, they can either visit the website or let us know they want to call back. But you got to have a down payment. Very clear. If you're broke, get off my phone right now in a nice way. It's really that simple. Voicemail. I do not take calls on that number. I got to go to voicemail or go to AI. I cannot talk to those people because they will drain the hell out of you. Right, Justin?
Man, I take maybe like 40 calls a day.
Send their butt to a voicemail. I ain't talking to all them people. I'm giving them a good, clear, concise voicemail about what we're doing. And if you have a reasonable down payment, let us know, and we'll get back to you and see what house you may qualify for.
Chris, do you think you're able to place a tenant buyer in any area, like in your capacity right now?
It depends, man. I mean, some of this stuff is harder than others. I mean, if it's just a rough area, it's just a rough area. Depends on the house, depends on the condition. But I've had houses that need work and got people in them. So, it just depends. You can't be in them deep. I know that. That's step one. Don't be in them deep. Don't be offering sellers, I give you $30,000 and let me take it over. I'm not offering that. No. Little to nothing down. Offer what you owe. Close to zero as we can get. So I know now our entry fee is maybe closing cost $1,000 or $1,500, whatever that is. That's our entry fee. So whatever somebody give us over that is our first profit center. That goes in the hip pocket National Bank. Somebody give me $10,000. I got $1,500 in it. I get to keep that $8,500 in my pocket as my first payment. Then they make monthly payments. I get to keep that as monthly cash flow. And if they decide to cash me out at the end, I get another check. But it's all about the cash flow. 3 profit centers.
Wow, Chris, that sounds really similar to how you do with the really pretty houses too.
Same thing.
That's crazy.
Same thing. We just gotta, stick to the script. So comments, questions, break them down now. We'll get them so we can get this thing wrapped up. I know Jaden got a question. Jaden ain't never ran out of questions.
No, I'm a question full of questions. Just wondering. That's pretty smart on how you did that. You send them straight to the voicemail. What do you usually say for that voice? Oh, sorry. No, you say you gotta have a down payment. This is the type of program that we have. We send you to the website. And it's just like a free landing page, right? You do a free landing page for basically everything, right?
Why not? Why would I go pay money?
Like you go hop on one of those AI website builders like Wix or something like that.
We're overthinking it doing that much, to be honest. So there's one. This is to that number. So that number correlates with this landing page. It all goes together. The page and the number connects. They are the only 2 things that go together. So you're looking for a rent-to-own home. They can put their information in if they want to be added to the email list. And then we have some houses available. The house I just showed you, the house we got on the south side, this house coming up in a couple of months, this house coming up, and this house probably needs to be taken off of here, but still, we got everything there. Now, once they look at those houses, they can look here at the frequently asked questions. Do you accept Section 8 vouchers? No. How much do you need for a down payment? Here. Everything that I'm saying is already here. There's really no reason for anybody to talk to me other than to say, hey, I'm trying to coordinate to see the house. I looked over all your information. When can I see the house? And all I'm doing on the phone to them is, 1, how much can you come up with to put towards a down payment? That number sounds good. Let's get you in the house somehow. Whether I give them the lockbox code, whether I do a 1-hour open house in a few days or whatever way I need to do to get them in the house if they got a reasonable down payment. That's it. That's my only job. Everything else is on the system. Why am I overthinking the process? That's it. It's a system. Everything I do is systematized. Why are we working so hard? Especially for people that may not even be doing nothing anyway.
Mhm.
Most of the people you talk to, like Jim say, or either don't got no money or you got a Section 8 voucher. No, I done told y'all that. Stop asking me that. It's already on there. First question. But I guess there's a lot of people that want Section 8 vouchers. I hope that answered your question there, Mr. Jaden. The 21-year-old is ready to throw them dice.
Yep, throw my dice and get these properties. I'm ready.
You coming up here in February? When?
I was thinking about February, March.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell
Come
this.
up here for the meeting on the 30th.
Hmm?
Come on up here for the meeting on the 30th.
It's a meeting on the 30th, Justin?
Where is that at?
I'm glad you asked. Ding. There's a meeting the 31st of January right here in sunny St. Louis at the Foundry. We're going to have a little meetup, belly to belly, with local real estate investors, local flippers, local wholesalers, local lenders. If you are in the business of real estate, you need to be in the business of real estate and start networking like you are. So show up and blow up. Take a screenshot of that. That's this Saturday, as long as we don't have another blizzard coming in or something silly. Art said he's going to wait till summertime before he come down.
I gotta make it down there one of these trips for sure, man. I'm trying to see what the barbecue. I'm trying to meet y'all, of course, but I want to see what the barbecue about as well.
Oh, that's year round. We ain't never ran out of barbecue.
Real stuff.
Barbecue is
Who you think
always
got the best barbecue in St. Louis, Chris?
You say what, Justin?
Who do you think got the best barbecue in St. Louis?
Who said I eat barbecue? Let's see here. What's the name of that place? I just went there a couple months ago. Pappy Smokehouse, pretty good. I mean, they're not the best, but they're pretty good. I would recommend them to others.
Pappy's.
Yeah, right there on Compton and Olive. I think the 3100 block of Olive, something like that.
I would say St. Louis barbecue off Goodfella and West Fulton.
Yeah, you got to go to the hood if you want what's good.
That's how it is up here too.
That's with the Chinese. That's with the
no
bar.
down in or nothing.
They got to have one way in and one way out, or it ain't good.
Yeah. If it ain't sketchy, then it ain't good enough.
They be blocking the main road intersection sometimes for people waiting in line, and that's crazy. No permit, no nothing.
If it ain't sketchy, it ain't catchy.
You got to get it off the highway.
No, you got to be in the middle of the hood.
You see how that
I guess I got a couple quick things.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead.
One question I wanted to ask is: have you ever had a prospective tenant buyer ask you if you could do rent to own with their Section 8 voucher?
I've had them ask that.
That's so crazy.
Well, if the number makes sense, though, what are they paying for rent on that Section 8? Well, there's a couple of questions. Okay, let's go down the rabbit hole. Y'all want to go down the rabbit hole?
Yeah.
Bring it back. All right. So when it comes to the Section 8 voucher, one, I'm not doing anything to get it to qualify. If you get the house ready to qualify for Section 8, we'll take your voucher if the number makes sense. That's the first part. So they got to make sure the house does whatever the inspection needs, whatever work needs to get it to qualify. If it needs work, it may not need work at all. I'm just going to make that very clear. I'm not doing anything just for the Section 8. Then two, that Section 8 voucher needs to be the amount that makes sense for our deal. I don't know if it does 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom. What are they paying? Does that make sense for my deal or my underlying debt or the property that I have? And then three, which really is number one, how much you putting towards the down payment? So with those three things can be answered and put in a way that makes sense, we'll do the deal. Hope that helps, Art.
Another comment I got is I had a deal the other week. I was trying to place a tenant buyer. That tenant buyer fell through at the last minute. Long story short, got another person lined up that's going to go look at it Tuesday. This deal, I'm split. I'm just helping another seller find a tenant buyer. I'm supposed to get 30% of the option fee. It's $19,000 what they're looking at putting down. So if everything works out, I can make like $7,000 or whatever just from connecting these two people to each other. So just wanted to throw that out there by saying if we can really just understand what's going on both sides and put ourselves in the middle one way or another, then we can be profitable.
I'm glad you brought that up, Art. Great. Congratulations there. But how are you going to facilitate this deal as far as paperwork?
I'm a control the DocuSigns between the two people.
Are you going to be assigning your contract to them?
No.
Why not? I mean, unless you're staying in the deal. Are you staying in this deal or just so
No.
why not assign him the deal?
Oh no, I didn't really think about that.
And the reason I'm asking that because we don't want to make it look like you're acting as a real estate agent. If you got the deal and you assign your contract to somebody else, you're in the clear. But if you're kind of like acting as an agent, I'm gonna do this, you don't want to get in the middle of that. Not saying somebody would turn you in or nothing, but I don't want you getting in trouble out here.
That's a good point.
So you might want to look into a way to, get it under contract with the, person, and then assign your contract to that end person, then collect your fee that way, versus saying I'm getting a commission percentage that could be construed as acting as a real estate agent.
That makes sense.
Come on, we're gonna make sure you're gonna learn something today. Y'all don't show up in sharp waters for nothing. No. Any other questions, comments, concerns? JV agreements, that's another way to do it. That or assign it. I mean, the easy way I would just assign a deal to them. If I know I ain't getting nothing but a check, whatever that entry fee is, that's my assignment fee. We just make it match up to what the number is. Assign it to him for that number, and then they can do whatever they want. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. All right, so this is the favorite part of the show. I think it's Jaden's favorite part. Let's see here. Where is it at? Jaden, what have you learned today?
What have I learned today? Number one, systemize everything. Number two, you don't really need to talk to everybody. You send them down through a process. And number three, sub 2 meet. It's going to be Saturday, January 31st, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
That's this weekend, 7 days or 6 days out. As long as we got another blizzard. But yeah, that's I don't want to say you don't have to talk to everybody. But if somebody's talking right and I need to talk to them, you got 30K, I need to be on the phone with you today. Someone's got 3,000. Everybody got 3,000. But you got 30,000. I need to talk to you and really understand what you're looking for. And either I have a property for you, I'm going to go find a property for you. Kind of like back to what Jim was doing earlier. Somebody got some bread, we going to put it on their head. What about Jim in Virginia? What have you learned today?
I'm not taking out DSCR loans.
Bing.
Why not, Jim?
And I'm going to stop overthinking things, because I think Justin brings up a good point when we were talking, is that, I've heard some terms and learned some stuff and things like that, but I'm putting too much, I'm trying to make it too complicated. And Justin's not the only person that's ever told me that. So, I got to start listening to that. So I'm keeping it more simple.
Keep it simple and don't overthink this stuff. It is what it is. If it's a deal, it's a deal, it's a deal. Justin Holmes, buying up all the homes. What have you learned today?
So I usually got to just make up some, but I did really learn some stuff today for real. One thing I would say is I have been informed that real estate is the wild, wild west.
It is.
And literally all the things I knew about insurance and leases and all of that stuff can literally be evaded because people don't do their due diligence. Banks don't do their due diligence. Corps not doing their due diligence. It's actually pretty mind-blowing to hear these type of things, that these things are happening in the world and nobody's the wiser. So I did learn about that the institutions don't really, really stand as much as I thought they did and stuff. So that's very fascinating. I also learned about the title thing, and asking for the what was it? Title what?
The preliminary title report.
preliminary
title report. So
yeah.
print out tell you whatever's on that property as far as liens, encumbrances, unpaid taxes, etc.
Right. And then I just, brushed up on getting back to the basics, the signs and stuff, not underestimating the signs and all of that stuff. So, that's all good stuff.
I got like 15 of them. Want to borrow some? Here. That'd be cool. Till they steal my next ones. But yeah, and that's the thing, coming back to what you said about the banks. Those banks have been, in the past, they didn't do any kind of research. But lately, here in 2025, last year, they started researching. Once they were doing a loan modification or a partial claim, they're looking to see who's on title. And I've had to revert properties back to the seller, do the loan modification or whatever, and then transfer it back to our name on 2 times now, because Rocket Mortgage, Elephant in the Room, and a few others, I believe, are started to dig into that when you're doing these loan modifications or partial claims. So they're getting a little better with it, Justin, but in real life, they don't know what they're doing. And last but not least, the beast, Art. What have you learned today?
What I got is, instead of, like, if I'm trying to find a tenant buyer for another seller, it's better to just do the lease option with them and then assign that lease option, so it's not being misconstrued as real estate agent activity. I like that better too, because then, having the paperwork in my name, it's just more control that way as well, instead of just hoping that people are going to do what they say.
Exactly. Yeah, it keeps you out of trouble. I don't want you getting in trouble, Art. I don't want anybody getting in trouble with this real estate stuff. You're always acting as yourself or your entity and assigning or doing something with the deal like that, versus I'm going to help this seller and I'm going to get in the middle of it. No, I don't want to be in the middle of the y'all deal. Hell no. I'll assign it. That's perfectly legal. I don't want to be tied up in the middle acting like I'm representing you in any way, shape, or form. Matter of fact, I'd have a disclosure telling them, get your own legal counsel. But, that can always be created as well. Anything else?
That's all I got, Chris.
Cool. I'll tell you what I learned today is take action. Call these people. It's snow days. People are home. Get up tomorrow morning, or even this, if it ain't too late tonight, what is it, 9 o'clock? Yeah, it's getting late. Probably not calling anybody tonight, but tomorrow you got another snow day. Make the calls. Call the people. They're at home. They're bored. Ask them, how are you holding up during this snow? Did it snow a lot there? Your conversation does not have to be just about the house. It can be about their situation, about their life, about them. Jaden, what do people like to talk about the most?
Themselves.
Come on, give them an opportunity to talk about themselves. Open that door. That builds rapport automatically, regardless of what you may think they're going to do or not do. Tell me how you're holding up during this storm. Y'all got heat, y'all got food, y'all got water. Good. And let them tell you a story. And now they're your friend for life. And now they want to do a deal with you. Kind of like that guy that y'all listen to. He told me, I feel comfortable with you. Comfortable? What did I do? I ain't doing nothing but listen to you. So be a good listener and ask good questions. Any other thoughts before we land this plane?
Was that guy a cold call lead?
That was a cold call on a pre-foreclosure earlier today, on a person that was on a pre-foreclosure list. It was the 3rd number on the list of numbers I retrieved. And he was, how'd you get my number and all that? All of that's on that live stream from earlier. The first one I did, the first part of his call is on that live stream from earlier. And then when he called me right back, which I wasn't expecting to call back so quick, we did that. So he said he's going to work with me. He feels comfortable. We're going to get into the property, even though the guy died in the house. So I hope it ain't stank up in there. I guess it shouldn't be if it was from July, right? It should have been freshened up by now. How long does it take for a dead body to go away?
I'll answer questions like that, Chris, out in public.
With the ozone generator.
Come on, man. You got this thing. So that's what we got. Hopefully y'all got something good out of this video. Give this video a thumbs up. Give it a like. Give it a share if you care. And I will catch you on the next one. Do what you do. Be who you be. and I'll see you before you see me.
So I want to get into real estate, but don't know where to start.
Well, what I would say is to join the Future Cash Flow Club. It's a community of investors where we talk about wholesaling, we talk about creative deal structuring, buying houses subject to, all of the creative stuff that everybody's talking about. You don't need a real estate license or any of that.
Wow, where do I sign up?
Well, I would say go to futurecashflowclub.com. That's futurecashflowclub.com. You can even get a free trial. Try it out today.